night, June 21st, 2021, City Council meeting. Will you always please join me in this Pledge of Allegiance, please? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item number 1 is the approval of the minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Judy?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes. Item number 2 is hearing of public concerns. Mayor, is there anyone calling in or downstairs?
Actually, there's no one downstairs, and we took the phone line out now that people can come up in
Okay,
public.
thank you. And then item number 3 is the clerk treasurer's report.
Council's been presented with the clerk treasurer's report for the month ending May 31st, 2021.
I'll motion to suspend.
I'll second.
Jim?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Judy?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
A motion to approve.
I'll second.
Oh, it didn't need
I'm
suspended.
sorry.
Yeah, I know,
It's
but-
okay.
That's
But
why
we
I-
might as well
That's
go
what I
ahead
was
and do
wondering.
that. It's all right.
You did that to me last time.
Do you want us to follow through with that?
The second? No.
Okay.
Fine.
Thank you.
Okay. And then item number 4 is an ordinance. Lori, will you please number and read?
Ordinance number 23, 2021, an ordinance providing for the transfer of funds for the city of Bryan for the month ending June 30th, 2021. This is a transfer request of $400,000 from the 1% income tax fund to the 101 general fund for general spending purposes. A transfer of $50,000 from the 1% income tax fund to the 203 motor vehicle street department fund for general spending purposes. A transfer of $350,000 from the 0.5% income tax fund to the 401 capital improvement fund for ongoing projects, and $50,000 from the 0.5% income tax fund to the 505 sewer drain maintenance fund for $50,000. Total amount of transfer requested, $850,000.
I'll move to suspend.
I'll second.
Rick?
Yes.
Judy?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
Move to approve.
I'll second.
John?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Judy?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes. Item number 5 is an ordinance. Lori, will you please number and read?
Ordinance number 24, 2021, an ordinance providing for annual appropriations for the city of Bryan for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2021, and declaring an emergency. This is an appropriation request for the Bryan Parks and Recreation Department amphitheater expenses for donations received of $15,560. It's a request for appropriation from the Court Special Project Fund operated by Bryan Municipal Courts for cameras of $43,423, as well as technology network upgrades of $9,267.68. The reason for those upgrades is the court received 2 Supreme Court grants. In addition, it is an appropriation request of $50,000 for the Police and Fire Debt Retirement Fund. Total amount of appropriation requested, $109,007.
Move to suspend.
Second.
John?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Judy?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
Move to approve.
I'll second.
Judy?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes. Item number 6 is an ordinance. Lori, will you please number and read?
Ordinance number 25, 2021, an ordinance authorizing and directing the mayor to hire the firm of Squire, Patton, Boggs, Columbus, Ohio, as bond counsel for the refunding and issuance of bonds in an amount not to exceed $1,500,000 pertaining to the Bryan Police and Fire Building debt. As council is aware, in 2011, the city of Bryan completed the building of the police and fire building downtown. In that year, we went out for bonds in the amount of $4.975 million on 20-year bonds. This year is the 10-year anniversary of the bonding, and we have a call on it. And what the call feature could do for the city of Bryan, should you choose to proceed, would be to allow the bond company to have us call them, and that is a refunding of the bond. So we would pay the total amount outstanding and then pay off a certain dollar amount to save the city of Bryan some money, and then reissue the remaining debt. So my suggestion to City Council would be to consider paying off $1.8 million approximately of the debt that's currently outstanding. As of today, we owe $3.115 million. We'll have another payment before December 1st, and then on December 1st, should you choose to go through this process, we would make the payment on a portion of the debt and then reissue the balance. So if we paid down approximately $1.8 million, it would be approximately $800,000 coming from the 0.5% income tax fund and $1 million coming from the fire department fund. And that would leave us approximately $1.1 million in the balance remaining to be paid off over 10 years on an additional note. And on that 10-year note, I would request that council allow a 5-year call on it again. So should we come up with the additional monies and want to pay off early again, we go ahead and do so. To proceed with this, with just paying off the additional $1.8 million should save the city approximately $500,000.
Okay.
So it, in my opinion, is a good fiscal move for us to do, particularly when one takes a look at the 0.5% income tax. This will pay off their portion entirely, and that 0.5% income tax is due for renewal in 2023. So it's fiscally prudent to do that, because otherwise the fire department would get saddled with the entire debt. On a go-forward for the fire department fund, while it's going to take $1 million out of their fund balance, it would be reducing their annual payment towards the debt by almost half.
Right.
So the payments on the go-forward would be approximately $130,000 to $140,000 per year, which should help them on budgeting purposes. In addition, just so council has an idea of what we started with when we constructed the building and took out the debt, at that time in 2011, the 0.5% income tax fund had a $1.8 million fund balance. And right now it's pushing $3.3 million. So to pay $100,000 on that is definitely feasible in the 0.5%. And in the fire fund, not including the fire vehicle portion, in 2011 it had a $1.2 million fund balance. Today it's got a $2.8 million fund balance. So again, to pay the $1 million, it's going to tighten it up a little for sure, but on a budgeting go forward, it should be prudent and easy for them to hit, not easy, prudent and responsible for them to hit that $130,000 approximately per year. So it seems like a really good move to go forward and pay down that debt. And in my personal opinion, anytime we can pay down early, we should. It's responsible. It helps hold our bond rating. And I'm making the recommendation to proceed. And this and the next two items are all pertaining to that should council wish to move forward.
Well, I like win-wins, win-win-win. So I will move to suspend.
I have to agree, anytime we can save that amount of money, we're silly if we don't, so I will second that.
John?
Yes.
Judy?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
Jim?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Judy?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes. Item number 7, Lori, will you number and read? Or you
This
don't
is
have
a, motion would be required. This is a supplemental fiscal officer certificate. This is a certificate that would allow me as your fiscal officer of the city to sign off for up to $1.5 million in bonded debt for the reissuance of the bond. We're planning to go closer to $1.1 million at the end of the day, but this just allows extra wiggle room. So if there were something unforeseen, such as another, knock on wood, round of COVID or something along those lines, and we see our tax dollars starting to drift, we can pull back another $300,000 to $400,000 prior to the issuance. So it's not to exceed $1.5 million.
I'll motion to approve.
There we go. Second.
Jim?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Judy?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
Thank you.
Shows our deep trust in you, Lori.
Thank you.
Well, you've earned it.
Item number 8 is an ordinance. Lori, will you please number and read?
Ordinance number 26, 2021, an ordinance providing for the issuance and sale of bonds in the maximum principal amount of $1.5 million for the purpose of paying the costs of refunding bonds previously issued by the city for the purpose of constructing, furnishing, and equipping a public safety building for the city police and fire departments and declaring an emergency. Again, this is the piece where we are recalling, doing a 10-year call on the notes, and then we will take it back out for a maximum amount not to exceed $1.5 million, and we're aiming for $1.1 million, so issue.
I'll motion to suspend. Jim?
Second.
Jim?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Judy?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
I motion to approve. I'm sorry, I was reading something.
Second.
John?
Yes.
Judy?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
Thank you.
And could I ask who put this 20-page document together?
Our bond counsel.
Thank you and them. I read it all, and as I was continuing to read it, I thought, good for them.
Our city attorney has read it as well
Oh, I'm
in
sure.
detail, and as Rhonda says, they do excellent work down there.
Yes, thank you.
They've been good for us.
Appreciate it. Appreciate the work, the effort.
Item number 9, a resolution. Lori, will you please number and read?
Resolution number 24, 2021, a resolution authorizing the clerk treasurer to advertise for bids for 600,000 refuse bags for the city of Bryan trash pickup.
Good evening, council.
Good evening.
This is our annual resolution to advertise, obviously, for garbage bags for the refuse collection. It's the same amount that we've done, I think, the last 4 or 5 years now. The same every year.
Which seems to be the right amount, I presume?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, we have quite a few left over in the barn, but you never know. I don't want to run out,
Yeah.
3/4 of the way through the year. So we usually have the same amount left over every year. And that gets us through the year.
I'll move to suspend.
Second?
Judy?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
Rick?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Judy?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
Thanks, Tyson.
Thank you.
Up next is item number 10, a liquor permit.
Yes, council, we have been mailed a request for either requiring a hearing or not requiring a hearing. Tacos Nachos purchased Myro's Pizza liquor permit, and the state is working on transferring that. Typically, in the past, we have not required a hearing, so I would just need a motion for that so we can send this back to liquor board.
Can I ask a real quick question?
Yes.
Just because it hit me tonight. Didn't we already do this for Taco Nacho?
Well, I think that they were gonna get one, and then that didn't go
Okay.
through, so they purchased this one.
Okay, that's what I thought. I
Yeah.
thought we did this
Yeah.
before. I
Yeah,
was
we
like,
did, there was something, I think they decided to go another route with an existing.
That was
Okay.
my question too. I'm glad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought we
It
did
hit me
too.
tonight. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, wait a second.
Yeah.
And
So
they
this
don't
is
really
just a-
inform me of that, but this is, I think, in the process of that, they figured this might be cheaper, because Myro's announced they were closing after we had done the original one, so I think they
Okay.
stopped the paperwork.
That was my other question, just for me, for future reference, and maybe for others, for future reference. Is it easier and cheaper, easier being quicker and cheaper to transfer versus going through the process of a liquor permit? Is it easier to get a transfer, or is it about the same and
I
about
would
the same
assume
expense?
it's easier to get a transfer, Rhonda, yeah.
Is it?
And then
Okay.
the other piece of this
Good.
is, it depends also on what's available, for liquor permits. They may have decided to go this route because it was beer and wine, and maybe before they could only get beer.
Just beer, I see.
And those are things that we're not necessarily privy to,
Sure,
on a local level.
sure, sure.
Well, I'll move that we do not require a hearing on this.
I'll second that.
Rick?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Judy?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
Thank you.
Up next is item number 11, personnel changes in the park.
Good evening, Council. In front of you, you should have a letter discussing some pool employees. Originally, they were hired as non-certified. They have since received their certification, therefore we need to change them to certified guards. We also have hired an assistant manager at the pool. And then also in front of you, you should have received a letter tonight requesting to hire Jared Kepler and Zach Seaman as seasonal part-time employees for the Parks and Recreation Department. All of these positions are budgeted for and have been accounted for within our budget.
I make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
John?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
Judy?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes. And up next, we have a.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ben.
Thanks, Ben.
Up next, we have a resignation from the police department.
Hello, it's good to see you guys in person. I have before you on your packets a resignation letter from Matt Fransdorf. He was our SRO. He was one of the two that's hired through the school. Matt's been in law enforcement for 30-some years, and he's decided he wants to change that. He doesn't want to do the law enforcement side anymore. So he's taken a job with the Bryan Elementary School. I think it's more of a part-time job, which he's retired from OSP. And when we had spoke, when he got hired initially, he said he was only wanting to do it for a couple of years, and he's weaning himself out of it. So Matt has tendered his resignation to the school and to us, and he reads on that, I thank you for the opportunity to serve as Bryan Reserve Officer and leave with nothing but utmost respect for the Bryan Police Department. And I am honored to have been part of the department, albeit for a short time. So Matt has made the decision to get out of the law enforcement part of it, but he's still going to do stuff with the kids.
Thank you. I would a motion to approve with regret because I know he's done a fine job for many years.
I'll second.
John?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
Judy?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes. Up next is item number 13. Mayor?
Yes, after discussing with the department heads and looking at the calendar, we do not feel there will be many items, if any, on the agenda for that July 6th. So I had spoke to Council President Leatherman last week asking,
I motion to approve.
okay,
I'm sorry, but I just
Please.
thought the opportunity to show
it's
you that. I
fine.
think it's great.
So the request is that we just cancel the July 6th meeting so that all of you can update your plans as you wish.
Now I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
John?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Judy?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes. That is everything on the agenda except going around the room. Chief Siders, Chief Chapa, do you have anything you want to add? Anybody from the city that's on? That takes us to John.
Okay.
You're up.
Thank you. I just want to thank Officer Fransdorf for his service. Also, congratulations to all the, since there's a number of them, the pool hirees and employees. I go there pretty much every day for a few weeks with my grandkids, and it's really very helpful and enlightening and heartening to see the kids and all the patience that the staff have with teaching all the kids swimming. And so I'd like to congratulate all the pool employees for that. And also thanks to Chief Siders for his report. Those reports do get read, I'm sure, by all council, but I can assure you they are read by me. Well, I think I actually asked you questions, so I think you already know that. But thank you for that. Thank you for the report. And that's it.
Judy?
I also would like to say we're sorry to lose Officer Fransdorf. Congratulations to the parks people. I would like to also say the Jubilee Parade, it was so nice to see so many people come out after couldn't have done it last year, or didn't get to do it last year, so it was wonderful. This Saturday, I believe, if I'm correct, is the day in the park. So, and I think the weather's supposed to be halfway decent again. So come back out again. I also, since we won't be seeing any of you before, wish you a safe and happy 4th of July.
Rick?
I want to echo those sentiments as far as thank you to Matt Fransdorf and for his service, and also thank you to the new hires for the parks at the pools and things. Congratulations to the Chamber for a successful Jubilee. I thought the parade went well and ordered up beautiful day. And last thing I want to talk about a little bit is some of the, don't know if you call them signage, flags, whatever, that are out there. I just ask that community members use good judgment in what they display. There are flags and things that have profanity on them, that have inappropriate gestures on them. And I would hope that they would have enough class to realize that there are young people that are seeing those things and are influenced by those things. And I realize that you want to take a stand on whatever issues that you have, but please keep in mind that there are people that, young people that are being influenced by that. So please use your best discretion in those situations.
Thank you, Rick. Jim?
I just want to say best of luck to Mr. Fransdorf and welcome new hires to the Parks Department, and echo everybody else's statements, I guess. Happy
Ron?
4th of July.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Rhonda? Lori?
I just wanted to mention to council, as I was reading it, I saw a formula error in the ordinance 24. Just the total amount of the appropriation is $118,250.68. And I wanted to clarify that. Thank you.
Thank you. Mayor?
Yeah, I'd like to congratulate the Chamber Parade Committee and the Bryan Chamber. And you have two people sitting here that were on that parade committee and worked really hard to pull off a successful parade.
And we had to run.
And you had to run. And we haven't all done that in a year and a half. I know. Again, this is the first in 3 years, I believe, because the year before that was canceled for rain.
Yep.
Right before the parade. So it was really nice. I personally missed that portion of being the mayor where we can go out and be community together. So I'm very happy to be back with people. And leading into that, we have Day in the Park next weekend. Friday night, the Army Band will be at the amphitheater playing. So if you're available, go out and see that. And then Saturday is a full day of fun activity. I will actually be in a dunk tank if any of you want to take some shots. I think it's around 3:30. I know, I figured you'd be there. Those two might show up too. And I also do want to thank the police and fire department because they have a lot to do with the success of the Jubilee Parade and all the pre-planning that we go through. So thank all of you for that. It's always a hairy day and we all kind of just cross our fingers and hope that the execution happens. I would also like to thank SRO Fransdorf. He and I connect together because he sometimes joins my son in the alt strings concert. He is a really good role model for those kids, and I know he'll do well in his new position. And I want to thank him because he was one of the ones we hired, or the school hired, from the inception and concept of that program that we all worked really hard on. So I wish him the best. And that is all I have.
Thank you. I'm going to echo fellow council members. I'm also going to thank the fire department and the police department for a very successful parade. No one got hurt. It was great, and you guys are so easy to work with on that day. I know when we went up to the fire department with a question, I mean, Doug Poole and Chief Siders were there to help us, and we really appreciate that. They're always easy to work with. With that, we're going to take a short recess and go into executive session to discuss acquisition of property.